Welcome back for today's NFL pick video play for September 23rd, 2018. If you're interested in getting all of our NFL picks for today's action, you can get those over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. Heading to this one, talking about this Sunday night matchup between the New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions and where we see the better value against the spread. The road team, the Patriots, coming in as 7-point favorites in what's the second leg of back-to-back road trips for New England. So they're getting a lot of respect here from the public as well as Vegas. So the Patriots on the year, they've opened 1-1 overall. They opened up with a nice 27-20 win over the Houston Texans at home. They weren't able to run away with that one, but again, getting a solid win against a respectable opponent. And then this past week, the Patriots, they went on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, coming up short in that one, losing by a final of 20-31. Jacksonville getting out to a 2-touchdown lead in the first quarter, and they were able to hold on from that point until the end of the game. The Patriots, with their offensive attack against what is obviously a very respectable Jacksonville defensive opponent, Tom Brady went on to complete 24 of 35 passes for 234 yards, 2 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. The ground game added 82 yards on 24 carries. But the concern we have here is with this New England defense. That was the main problem with the Patriots last year. And again, this past week, Blake Bortles, who isn't the highest level quarterback to go against New England, still giving up 376 yards through the air, as well as 4 touchdown passes, and then over 100 yards on the ground on 24 carries for Jacksonville as well. So defensively, we're a bit hesitant on this Patriots team right now, but of course offensively, when you have Tom Brady, even though they don't have a ton of weapons, still a dangerous offensive opponent. Now the Detroit Lions, they're in desperation mode. They're 0-2. If they go 0-3 and then have to go on the road against the Cowboys next week and then going against the Packers at home the week after that, they could end up starting 0-5, and if they are at 0-3, they put themselves in a position where it seems almost impossible for them to get back into things in the NFC North in what is expected to be a tough division. The Packers and the Vikings are both expected to have very strong seasons, and even the Bears look like they're going to take a step forward this year. So Detroit, if they're not careful, they could fall their way and continue to stay in the basement of the NFC North. But this past week, the Lions, they were respectable on the road against the 49ers. They covered the spread, losing that one by a final of 27-30. And Detroit, in their opener at home against the Jets, it was one of the worst performances that we saw from any team back in week 1, but they were able to get things back on track a bit against the 49ers. Matthew Stafford went on to throw for 347 yards, 3 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. He had success throwing against that San Francisco defense. We feel like Stafford can have success as well this week throwing against the Patriots secondary. And then in terms of what they did defensively last week, the Lions limiting Garoppolo to 206 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. San Francisco focusing more on their ground game, picking up 190 yards on 28 carries. So coming into this one, we actually see it being a competitive matchup because Detroit, they're in desperation mode. They know they have to grab a win here today or their season, for all intents and purposes, might even be over, even though it is just 3 weeks. The amount of teams that open up a season 0-3 and make the playoffs is next to none, especially when you're in the kind of division that the Lions find themselves in. And then with the Patriots, they're on the second leg of a back-to-back road trip, which is never easy, and they're coming off a defeat against a physical opponent. So I also think that plays with Detroit's advantage potentially and maybe trying to grab this upset victory. So with all that being the case, we're siding with the home team in what should be a competitive matchup, taking the Detroit Lions, getting the full touchdown as the better value play. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. Check out all of our NFL picks for today over at stumpthespread.com. Linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for tomorrow's Monday night pick video play.